2025 edition of the Coaches Show with head coach Aaron Dunnam. Coach Dunnam, 2025 is here. Can you believe it?
I can't believe it, but it's here, and I'm excited for it and ready to get going.
Well, Coach, this is the 100th season of football here at Dumas. How excited are you guys to get back on the field?
Very excited. We've spent a long time preparing. I mean, this is probably a game that, we're only guaranteed 10 ball games.
Yeah.
And we prepare months on months to play those 10 games. And so we're ready. We're really ready to, we went through some scrimmages here and been practicing since August the 4th. And so we're ready to face somebody else and ready to play the real one.
Well, and you've known since November who the opponent is.
We have.
Coach, exciting stuff on the horizon for this team. Let's talk about preparation for this year. How did the boys compete this summer?
It's good. It's never off time. I mean, we're always competing. In the summer, the portion of what we do in the summer is our summer strength conditioning, and then we also do our state lineman competitions and our 7-on-7. And so we qualified, I think, for the 5th straight year in 7-on-7, and probably the 4th, maybe even 5th straight year for our linemen. So we competed all summer long with those kids, and went down to the Metroplex multiple times for 7-on-7, and then played at College Station in the state 7-on-7 tournament. So a lot of work in the summer to get us ready for this football season.
These guys work year round. I mean, you've got many of your players on your team are multi-sport athletes. So once football's over, they're headed either to basketball or wrestling or powerlifting. Mm-hmm. Some of those guys getting ready for baseball and track as well. I mean, so your guys, even as the football season comes to an end, it's not like they're just sitting at home, sitting on the couch.
They're not. The second our season ends here in football, we meet with our kids, we set them down, and we actually have a coach that walks around and ask every kid, where are you going? Where are you going? Because we're gonna push multi-sport athletes. We're not gonna let our football players just sit around here and do an off season. It doesn't do us any good. And so an option for them to say is that I'm not doing anything. I'm going to be in off season.
Sure.
You're not going to be in off season. You're going to go play some other sport. You're going to help some other team at Dumas High School. And so you're exactly right. I mean, they're in competition year round.
Well, Coach, let's be real. Let's talk about some of the adversity. You faced some adversity this summer at the 7-on-7, but out of that came leadership. I think you can talk about the bond that it made with your team. Coach, talk about kind of what happened coming out of that.
Sure, yeah. We did. We had some adversity just hit within our team down at 7-on-7. As you look back on it now, God was planning something. And so it gives you an opportunity. A lot of times you're not prepared for that. You're not ready. But it created us to really dig deep. It created us to start conversations, start communicating as a staff, start just really digging in. And things like that happen. It gets you out of your complacent ways, and it really challenges you to you talk about things that you want to do. You talk about your culture. You talk about and not always do you act on that. And so it created us to really open our minds and start thinking. We met as a staff. I met with you. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of people that are involved in Dumas football that really came together at that time and just figured out, what we need. And it created, we created some players, and it really forced us to really dig in on our culture and decide, what do we want? What do we want our locker room to look like? What do we need our leaders on our team to look like? What do we need them to do? What's some things that maybe we need some buttons we need to push to get our mindsets in the right spot? And then every year, you think of a team motto and what you're going to do, and that situation really brought on our team motto, which is accountability, love, and toughness. And so we really started focusing on all three of those, and they all go hand in hand. And so now, even every day, one of our coaches will talk to our kids 2 minutes, 10 minutes, every day when we start, and it's always going to focus on those three things. Always different stories, always different ways that our coaches approach it, but we're always going to talk about those three things. And then we've really made a push that we don't just talk about it, that when we see it on the football field, we reinforce it, that we positively. And then we also, we had an opportunity yesterday in practice to really approach these three type of things and talk about whether our motto is our goals, is our culture conditional or is it unconditional?
Yeah.
And so we got to talk about that. And so it's really brought up some great conversations, and it's really brought up a movement inside of our locker room that's created some really good leaders, and it's created a lot of love in our locker room. That's really good to see.
And these things aren't easy because the conversations, especially the initial conversations, they're tough.
Very tough.
And they're hard, and sometimes, as we've talked about this, as a society, we kind of shied away from having tough conversations, holding each other accountable, and so to have those things happen, it's really opened things up for you guys as a coaching staff, but also the relationship between the players and the relationship between the players and coaches.
It really has. I mean, Zane, you talk about a family, conversations inside your families aren't always fun, aren't always easy.
Yeah.
And with a bunch of people that live together and love one another, but our football team's no different. We spend a lot of time together, and we're talking about love, and we're not talking about that type of romantic love. We're talking about just a love and a brotherhood, and these tough conversations have brought on great conversation and has really forced us to get uncomfortable. And a lot of times when you're uncomfortable, you really make great growth, and we've seen some really good growth on our football team because of it.
And this is something, Coach, that you've seen with teams in the past, and that camaraderie that they have together, that love they have for each other, it can't help but spill onto the field when you play.
It will. It will. Culture is your behavior. So your behavior is who you are and how you act. And we finished the scrimmage the other night and just came into the locker room, and the locker room was just electric. And then before everything closed down, just players walking around hugging players, telling them they love them. Players walking around hugging coaches, telling them that they love them. And it's been a little bit since our locker room has felt like that. And the culture is created by our kids. We set the standards. The coaching staff will set the standards, but the kids will create the culture. And they've done a really good job thus far.
Well, Coach, let's start talking about some of those players that are going to make up this year's team. Let's start offensively. You guys talk about, without giving away the secret ingredients, talk about the players coming back from this year's team, some of the new guys you're welcoming, and kind of what you guys are looking to do.
Some of our return players, and I can just sort of go position by position as we start at the receivers. Blake Robinson is a returner, a kid that played for us last year, a kid that unfortunately sees his entire time here, has had season-ending injury, but he was a kid that played really well for us last year, came back pretty quickly throughout his other sports, but he's a guy that's electric, and I think you'll see that. Bump down the offensive line, a returner that we have, we've got a couple of them there. Aaron Vinzer is a returning starter. Gael Cardenas is a returning starter. And then Dominic Beltran, he played. He started for us in the Randall game, and so he's another starter there. So the other two are fresh guys, but those are returners that we feel really good about. And then you talk about our offensive backfield. Colton Mills, leading passer in Dumas high school history. He's back, stronger, better, older, more mature, better leader.
And still a junior.
We still have him for 2 more years. And then you go back to ZJ. ZJ played a lot for us last year. Was a starter. He too faced some adversity and some injuries early in the season, but he's bigger, faster, stronger, and doing some really good things. And so those are the starters. That's the just the returners that we have on our team. A lot of other guys that maybe returned on the other side of the ball that'll now be starting offense. LD Balbuena, and so that's on Christian Gonzalez. Yes, well, that's on the offensive side. So
okay, well let's talk about defensively. Again, going to be replacing some guys defensively, but also have some key important guys coming back as well.
We replaced a lot on defense, but that's I'm not looking at that as a negative thing. I think the guys that we have playing for us right now are going to do a great job. But Cody Austin was a kid that played a lot for us, started a lot of games on the defensive line that'll be returning for us. Shooter Kuhn will be starting, returning starter, will be back at the inside linebacker position. LD Balbuena played a lot last year, started a lot of games, will be back for us. Blake, a two-way starter, back for us at corner. And those are we replaced two brand new outside linebackers. But one of the outside linebackers is Race Thornburg. Race was a starter for us last year, just in a different position.
Yep.
And so those are the returners that we start on the defensive side. And then a lot of new guys that you'll hear their names come throughout that are going to be really good players for us.
Special teams wise, talk about what we've got there.
Christian Saldana, our kicker,
Yeah.
returns. He was a freshman last year, started as a freshman. It comes to us looking really good right now. I mean, we've liked what we've seen thus far. He's even transitioned into more of our special teams now. He's also going to be our punter.
All right.
We found out that he can punt really well as well.
Let's go.
And so that's going to help us there. And then Blake Robinson, our snapper, long snapper, short snapper, returns.
Mm-hmm.
We've had some Robinsons hold that position for a while. So
That's right.
we got another one again, and so he's a returner and helping us. And then all those guys in the return game. I mean, you'll see Blake Robinson, you'll see LD, you'll see Tate Dunnam, you'll see ZJ, you'll see Colt Fox. A lot of those kids in the return game help us on special teams.
Well, Coach, let's talk about some of the new guys, some guys that are fresh at the varsity level. But, from what I've seen the last couple of weeks in scrimmages, they're going to be guys that are going to become household names for Dumas Demon fans.
Let's start on the offense side. Some guys that we're super excited about right now. Let's start at the receiver position. Colt Fox is a kid that, he's a small kid. He's undersized, but probably runs the best routes of anybody on our team. He does a great job, and he's had a really good camp, and we're super excited about him.
Kind of fits that mold of like Wes Welker, Danny Amendola type guy, just, inside type guy that can make plays.
Great route runner, runs good routes, finds a way to get open, catches the ball, catches them low, catches them anywhere. I mean, he has done a really good job, and we're super excited about him. I did talk a little bit about LD. LD's on the offensive side, but will now be a guy that's going to surprise you. As we go to the offensive line, we have some newcomers, some sophomores. JJ, Jesus Jara, right tackle, a sophomore. Gio Bonilla, left guard, a sophomore. Guy that we're really, really excited about, and we're going to see great things from him.
They seem like just tough.
They
tough kids.
They are super tough, super tough. I really like our offensive line right now, and I think Demon fans will like them pretty quickly as well. Yeah. We talked about another Jara. We've talked about a lot of Jaras. There's three of them. We've got Angel Jara in the backfield when we're getting our two back sets. That's doing a really, really good job. And I think that's...
another guy that I've been impressed with in scrimmages was Chris Jimenez.
Oh, man. Yeah, let me talk about him. So, Chris is new to us. He's not new to a lot of Dumas fans. You've seen him on the basketball court. Yeah. He's a starter in basketball for us. Chris was a kid that played for us his freshman year. Played for us at defensive end. Had a really nasty injury his freshman year. Sort of scared him away from the game. Yeah. But Chris is back in a total different position. He's playing tight end for us, H-back. We'll split him out at wide receiver. He'll be a difference maker. He's a guy that you'll notice, and you'll notice really quick. He's big, he's physical, does a great job blocking when he puts his hand down at tight end, does a great job blocking at H, and then has great hands too of catching the football. So we're super, super excited, about him and what he's going to do for us.
So let's go then over to the defensive side. Got some new guys on the D-line.
We do. Ruben Garcia is a sophomore kid for us, but a kid that we're really excited about starting at defensive end. Arturo Oliva at the nose guard. Big kid. I mean, 300-pounder is going to do a really good job of plugging up the middle. And then move on to inside linebacker. We got a newcomer. New to us, not a new name. This is Kelton.
Not a new number.
No, this is Kelton Deal, wearing number 42, who's Gallandale's little brother.
Yeah.
Starting for us at inside linebacker, seeing great things. And then I talked about our outside linebackers. They're seniors, but they're new to us. Juan Carlos Corona and Race Thornburg, which they've really done good things throughout our scrimmage that we're super excited about. And then when we talk about our newcomer in the back end, Christian Gonzalez, he's going to start for us at safety. A kid that was with us last year on varsity, played limited time, but it's going to start for us at safety. And then a newcomer of Tate Dunnam out at the corner. So that rounds up our defensive side.
And be exciting to see another Dunnam there.
It is
Defensive backfield.
Always exciting. He's different. He's his own person.
Yeah.
A little bit different than the rest of them. But I think he's going to do a great job. He has some pretty good coverage skills, and we're excited about what our secondary is going to do.
I'm excited to see these guys actually get to play a game in their jerseys, numbers, and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
And kind of see how things come together.
Yes, sir.
Well, let's talk about that opponent on Friday night. It's a familiar opponent, Caprock Longhorns. We played them for a long time, and then I think maybe took like a 2 or 4 year break of playing them.
We're still scrimmaging them even on that time.
Yes. And but they were back on the schedule last year. We played over at Dick Bivens Stadium. They'll come to Dumas to play us in tonight's game. They always play hard.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be physical. No matter what the score, they're going to play with a little swagger, a little grit. So what are you looking for out of tonight's opponent?
A lot of what you talked about. They haven't changed a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the same coordinators are still there. They do have a new coach. He's in his 3rd year. Coach Freeman is, and Coach Freeman and his staff do a great job. I mean, just like you talked about. I mean, they're going to have their kids playing extremely hard. And they're going to play for all 4 quarters. It doesn't matter what's happening in the game. They're still going to be playing and bringing it to you. We expect them to be super aggressive on defense. They always have been. We're going to be able to have to withstand their pressure. They are going to be a pressure defense. They're going to bring outside backers and inside linebackers and be multiple in the back end, and they're going to move on the defensive front. And so, they're going to be aggressive. We're going to have to be aware of that. We're going to be able to withstand some of those initial blows and then be able to continue to throw the punches, later in the 4th quarter.
Well, let's talk on the defensive side of the ball. What do you think is going to be key for the Demons to do tonight as they face this Caprock offense?
We've got to limit big plays, just as they are on defense. I mean, they're going to be pretty aggressive too on offense. They run the inside-outside zone. They're going to run a little bit of pin and pull system with with some of the run plays, and then they're going to throw the football. They always have. They're going to attack the football field vertically. They do a good job of throwing screens out there and trying to attack you on the edges.
Returning quarterback, right?
They do. It was not the one that started against us, but later in the season, he's the one that took over, finished out the season, and he returns. So he's a returning starter. The tailback's a returning starter. They've got a couple of returning starter receivers, and so yes, I mean they're going to be aggressive on the offensive side. So we've got to do a great job of limiting the run, being able to also, don't allow them to create momentum by big plays. Just be great in the back end, and then just be assignment sound. The touchdown that we gave up last year came on a fake screen vertical release, and we just got to be sound. We got to be, our guys got to be where we're supposed to be, and not allow them, not hurt ourselves on the defensive side.
Well, let's move to the offensive side of the ball. What do you think will be key for the Demons to move the ball and score versus this Longhorn defense?
We got to be able to establish a run game, and you're going to always hear me say that. I think if you can establish a run game, I think you can dictate the ball game.
Sure.
If you're going to struggle in the run game, then you're going to struggle in the football game. So we're definitely going to put a lot of stock in our guys up front, in our running backs to be able to carry the football. I think we've got to secure the football. You look at last year's game, we almost fumbled on the first 3 possessions of the football game.
Yeah.
We do fumble on the first possession, give it to them, they score. We fumble on the second possession. We actually fumble on the 3rd possession, but we recover it.
Yeah.
And so take care of the football, and then I do think with the way that we're able to run the football, I think our play-action passing game has got to be effective as well.
Yeah. It's going to be exciting.
It is.
Ready to get it going,
It
Coach.
is.
And this season is here. And we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we've got a couple more things we're going to talk about with Coach Dunnam. Thanks for joining us again tonight. Second half of the Coaches Show with head football coach of the Dumas Demons, Aaron Dunnam. Coach, let's talk about high school athletics, specifically in Texas. High school athletics in this part of Texas are different from high school athletics in the metro areas of Texas. We deal with very little transfers, even though it does happen.
It does.
Around here. We also don't have to deal with distractions of outside trainers. as much, in this part. But what is your thought on the overall state of Texas high school athletics?
Well, I think as you look at Texas high school athletics, I mean, you definitely look at college athletics first.
Yeah.
And you see how it's changing.
Sure.
Because it's usually a trickle-down effect. It usually is. And so we're not there in high school football yet, but we're pretty close. I mean, you look at college athletics and you look at the transfer.
Yeah.
You look at now how kids are leaving right and left and NIL and all that stuff. We don't have NIL yet, but I'm just telling you it's probably not too far away. And so we just don't have to deal with tons of that here. You see it across the state of Texas. You see the transfers. You see, and the UIL is trying to get a grasp on it. With the PAPFs and the processes that it is to be able to transfer. But it's happening. It's happening every single day. When you talk about the metro area and you talk about 5 high schools within 5-10 miles, and just the large metro area where these kids are living and apartments and just everything from homes to everything. We just don't see out here. If you're going to come to Dumas, you're going to move your family to Dumas, and you're going to come out here. I mean, we are the only school in town, and so if you live within our lines, I mean, you're coming to Dumas High School. You're going to Dumas Junior High. You're going to our elementaries, and it's just not like that. I mean, you don't even. I mean, we can talk 45 miles away from here to the Amarillo area, and they're even seeing more of that. Probably not at the. At the level that you're seeing in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex or the Austin or Houston or San Antonio area, but definitely happening more even in Amarillo than it's happening here. So, it's different. I really like the environment of Dumas. I like the environment of a one-horse town. It's still, not that it doesn't matter everywhere else, but Friday night football is still special. It's special to our community. I'm a big fan of community-based athletics where you cheer for a team, you show up and you cheer on your team, the only team. But it's changing. It's changing fast.
Well, and you kind of touched on this a little bit with NIL. NIL does happen in other states.
It does.
I know that people may think, well, that's just a college thing. It's just a college problem. It is. It's not. Other states, and I couldn't name it off the top of my head, but it is multiple states that have allowed that to start happening even at the high school level.
I could be told, but I think there's only like 12 states that do not.
I think you're right.
And Texas is one of them that does not allow NIL.
Yeah.
But I don't. It's knocking. It's knocking. And so, I understand it. I totally understand where I was a big fan, of paying college athletes. Mm-hmm. I just thought there should be some parameters to that. When I was thinking about paying college athletes, I remember when I was a college athlete, I went out at the Division I level, a D2 football player, and I think about the time that we spend and the amount of work that we do, and there is no time for you to have a job. I mean, it is a job.
It is your job.
Yeah, so when you talked about paying college athletes and allowing them to have stipends, and I was like, oh, okay, yes, but I was thinking, like a
regulated,
like a couple of $1,000s to be able monthly to be able to eat, to be able to maybe pay your rent, to be able to do those type of things. I wasn't talking to this $10 million and the things of that nature, and so I don't know. I mean, I think we'll see some change in college football too. I mean, it is where it's where it's at now, and I don't think we're going backwards.
Man.
I would like now to see college athletes be put on contracts and have agents and all those type of things, because that's what it is. I mean, it's just like the NFL. But what's the difference? The Chiefs aren't having to worry about Patrick Mahomes leaving to another team every single year.
That's right.
Because he's on contract.
That's right.
Let's do the same in college. Let's don't let our quarterbacks, all of a sudden I've got a quarterback and then I don't because somebody else paid him more.
Yeah.
Let's put them all on contracts. So
there's not much accountability.
No.
And really not much allegiance toward schools that you've seen.
Totally agree. And I think we'll suffer. I think we'll suffer. I think our society will see a little bit of that. As we talk about the trickle down, I think we will see results from every bit of that. I mean, I'm a big commitment guy. I'm a big loyalty guy. I mean, we're speaking it and preaching it to our kids on a daily basis, and that's what we expect in our families.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I hope this doesn't create that type of environment later in their lives.
I think it's even something that our kids really buy into. They like that hometown. This is who we are. This is who we identify with. This is where we've grown up. This is where we've been. And it's not like that everywhere.
It is not. It is not.
Well, Coach, burning question for you. I know that this time of the year is stressful. There's a lot that goes on. What is the over/under on hours of sleep per night?
It depends on the day. Sometimes maybe maybe 3 hours of sleep. Sometime on a great day, if I'm really sleeping in, I might get 6.
There we go.
And so I don't know. I mean, you come in from a Friday game and you get home at 2:00 in the morning. Well, I'm going to get 2 to 3.
Yeah.
And then we're back at the field house. So, yes, sir.
'Tis the season.
It is. It is.
Hey, let's talk about games. We are here. There are games happening. We filmed this on a Thursday, so there's going to be games happening tonight. And then obviously when we play tomorrow as well. So let's talk about some of these. Coach, the cool thing about some of these early season matchups is you're going to see teams playing each other that you're going to be facing both teams down the road. So it helps you guys a little bit in scouting.
It does.
You can watch a game and no matter which side of the ball you're on, you're watching both sides going, okay, all right, we're going to face this later. Perryton at Canyon. This was last year. This was Coach Hernandez's first big game. He got a big win at home against Canyon. This year, he's got to travel on the road, play him on the road Thursday night game.
I think it's a big one. I mean, it's a big one for us because it's a district opponent of ours. And then, we've got some Coach Hernandez was an old Demon, and so. But I think he's going to get a pretty fired up Canyon football team playing at home. Yeah. Really, really fired up about what happened to them in the last moments of the game last year at Perryton. And so, I think it's a good football game. I think we're going to find out pretty early about where some of these teams are, and so it's going to be a good one.
Another exciting Thursday night matchup at Lowry Plains Capitol Field down there. Hereford going to play Lubbock High.
Sure, I'm interested in this. I just want to sort of see. You don't ever know. You don't ever know what everybody has. You go through scrimmages and you hear coaches talk, and it's interesting. I've really gotten unfamiliar with Lubbock High. I used to be more familiar with them. We used to play them in the season, but it's been a while since we've played Lubbock High or any. It's been a little while since we played any Lubbock ISD school. So I'm unfamiliar with them, but I am interested to see. What Hereford has and their district opponent, what they've got, and really be able to see. Again, you got to be careful of looking at scores, but we all do. So.
Well, and even week one is so tough because, I think even, you guys as coaches are like, hey, let's go out here and actually see what we've got when these lights come on.
Without a doubt.
Coach, huge matchup going on tonight in Amarillo between two Amarillo ISD schools, Tascosa and PD.
I think there's a lot of eyes on this. Paladura ran Amarillo last year. I mean, they beat every Amarillo ISD school. There's a lot of energy and excitement about Paladura right now. They've got multiple Division I athletes. Coach Mims, I know Coach Mims. I actually played college football with Coach Mims, and so he's done a good job. Him and his staff have done a really good job of getting people excited there at Paladuro. And then, they beat Tascosa last year, so I'm sure. I mean, this is a inner city rivalry. It doesn't matter if PD's playing Tascosa's playing Amarillo High. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's going to be a very heated football game, and this is a really good one to kick off with. So there's going to be a lot of excitement in this, and I'm excited because we scrimmaged Paladuro, and so I want to be able to sometimes judge who we were by how we performed in the scrimmage a little bit. So I'm excited to see this game as well.
I would not be surprised at all if Dick Bivens Stadium tonight is just packed out.
Agreed.
Everybody's always ready for these first games to happen, but man, with such a massive matchup between these two teams, woo, it's gonna be fun. Big one down in Abilene, and might be watching this going, why are we even talking about these teams? Well, one of these teams is a team that we could see down the road. Brownwood is going to play at Abilene Wiley.
Brownwood's has a coaching change, so a brand new staff. Brand new head coach. Abilene Wiley's Abilene Wiley was at a lower classification, many years ago. I mean, playing deep in the playoffs, state playoff games, and then bumped up a classification, went through some tough years. But Abilene Wiley's really started playing really good football again too. So this will be a big one. and we'll sort of be able to find out what Brownwood has and how they're reacting with the new head coach and sort of what their system is and how they are. But, tradition for both of these schools is really high. I mean, they both are really traditional programs that really play deep in the playoffs.
Coach, one of these matchups of two teams that you'll face later, Borger playing at Bushland. I mean, these two teams, we'll face Borger next week. Bushland will be the last game before district play starts. So this is one of those ones that you kind of got your eye on for the future for sure.
It is. I want to look at the scores and see how they go, and we find out who our teams are. You never really know. But I know Bushland. We talk about them and what they are. I mean, they're going through some changes. They've got a quarterback that moved away and is starting for Friendship now, and so I want to see who they are. I mean, want to see really what type of team they have, who's back from the previous years, and then these are matchups that we'll see in the next 2 to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So very, very interesting on these.
That'd be pretty exciting. Another big game at Dick Bivens Stadium between two teams. Odessa High playing your brother's team, Amarillo High.
This is a game last year that was out at Odessa. Rain delay, came back out. I think they played like the kickoff and maybe Amarillo High returned it for a touchdown. I think they might have played two offensive snaps or defensive snaps. And the game was called.
Yeah.
And so this was it wasn't even on their record. They only had nine games in the regular season. But one that I think Odessa High is going through another coaching change as well. I've talked to my brother. He's super excited about his group. They've got a quarterback that threw for a lot of yards that's back. I think they've got a lot of good pieces in play that are back for them, so I'm excited about him, and again, always pulling for my brother.
He's got their quarterback there is one of those guys, got one of those pretty cool names. I think it's like Jet Lopez.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yes, sir.
All right, next game, again, two teams that we're going to see first week of district play, and then 3 weeks away, I think, for our homecoming game, Plainview, Randall playing at Plainview.
That's a big one, because I think this is two good football teams. And we use, even last year when this game was played, you find out a lot about them. I think Randall's had a little bit of change on their staff. I think they've had, they were a very, very senior heavy football team last year, and so maybe I don't ever think Randall. I've been super impressed with the way that Randall's been able to reload and be able to get their kids playing. I think they always play tough. And so I think we'll see that again. But there will be a lot of new faces. There are going to have to be some kids that are going to have to make the plays that weren't making those plays last year. Plainview returns quite a few. I remember they returned quite a few on offense, some receivers. Their quarterback now will be starting his 4th season. He started every game as a freshman. He's really talented. I think the running back's back. I think they've got a lot of pieces back now. If they do think they have some new coach, I think they've got a new defensive coordinator. And so I'm interested to see what has changed in the scheme and things of that nature. But this is a really big one.
It is. This last one is not just a big game for this area, it's a big game that's been mentioned around the state. They better have the scoreboard ready at Happy State Bank Stadium in Canyon, because this one is one of those games that could end up in the 50s between both of these teams. Seminole playing at West Plains.
I'm interested. This was a big talked about game last year, and West Plains went into Seminole, and Seminole really got after them.
Yeah, they did.
Seminole was a team that played deep into the playoffs. I don't know what Seminole has back. I do know what West Plains has back, and it's almost everybody. I think they returned 9 of their 10 starters on offense.
Yeah.
And I think they return a good, 6 to maybe 6 to 8 maybe on defense. And so they are highly talked about. I think they're ranked number 2 in the state right now, rightfully so. Salina was the defending state champs. They had them on the ropes. I think Salina ended up winning that 36-42. And so it could have gone either way.
Sure.
And then Salina went on to win the state championship pretty handily. Mm-hmm. So big things. I'm interested to see this. I'm interested to see all the hype about West Plains and to be able to see what Seminole has as well.
Well, Coach, we are here. The season's upon us. Kickoff getting ready to go for these Dumas Demons. Only got four chances to see them here in Dumas, and so make sure and join us out at the stadium. It's going to be an electric atmosphere. Just watching what this student section has done at a couple of home volleyball games. Excited to see them out here for these home football games. it's going to be an awesome atmosphere out there at Dumas Stadium.
It is. If I could say anything, just encourage you to buy a ticket, come out, get your family. You can support a lot of people by coming to these games. Our band has a concession stand. You can come and buy some food, support our band, come out and just support our kids. Bring your family to a football game. Make it a family event. It's community. And so get out in the stands, support our kids, watch them, celebrate them. Because I think you'll like the product that's on the field, and I know our kids will love to feel the energy of UNR stands.
All right, excited for the season. We hope you can join us.